Hi, welcome to DGP Week 2. Please be aware, oops, sorry, I just made a big mark on the paper. Please be aware of the mistakes that I'm calling to your attention because they will count off and they're so simple not to be counted off on. So please start by putting your name and your core on this paper. This is DGP Week 2. Make sure you spell that out. And this is the date, even though this may not be your date. But I'm seeing a lot of misspelled words and misplaced commas, so make sure you have a comma between your day and your date, or the month, and the date and the year. So you want these commas, they're important. This particular sentence has 3 corrections, and you always start a sentence out with a capital letter. The scene often came back to Buck to trouble him in his sleep, and so we want to put a period here. It is a statement, and this is one of the characters' names, so you capitalize proper nouns. So we're moving on to the next slide, and here we have this on Wednesday. Please don't forget to put the date. Again, I'm seeing a lot of people as I go through the year who don't put the date down. So Wednesday, please spell it correctly, commas. Again, these are important. And we are looking at parts of speech. Parts of speech means we are going to label everything. I always start out with the articles. In this case, we do have one article. Articles are the word a, and the. And this is our article here. The scene often came back to Buck, so we've got that. I like to look at nouns. A lot of times they are easy, sometimes not so easy, but we'll start with this today. And sleep is a noun, and so is seen. Now, seen is what this whole sentence is about. It's going to be our subject tomorrow. Our action verb is came, so we'll label that action verb there. Prepositional phrases may be a bit of a challenge at this point, especially if you've not seen this type of grammar before, or the DGPs, but the prepositions start popping out at me, and I can see these phrases: in his sleep and to Buck. To is a preposition, and in is his preposition. So these are prepositional phrases, and prepositional phrases start with prepositions. So there you have your 2 prepositions. And somebody might say, hey, there's another to there. But this to is a preposition to with an action verb here, and so this becomes an infinitive. And so we'll mark off infinitive there. And it is actually going to be tomorrow our infinitive phrase. So we'll mark that on the next slide. We have a proper noun here. This is a specific noun. And here we have Buck as the noun in this, the proper noun. We have an objective pronoun that is going to be him. So I'm going to label that. And it's pronouns or words that can replace other words. We have 2 adverbs, so we need to look for our verb and see what tells us more about the verb. When did it come? It came often. And where did it come? It came back. So you have those 2 adverbs here. Then we have a possessive pronoun. We're showing ownership here. And it is his sleep. So this is your possessive pronoun. And that takes care of labeling all of our parts of speech for this sentence. In the next day, we're going to do, slide, we're going to do parts of the sentence. Don't forget, here we have our date, so please don't forget that. And we are going to label a lot of stuff here, and our key is down here at the bottom. So we'll start with our subject, and this is what is the sentence is about, and it is about the scene. And then we can ask ourselves, well, what did the scene do? Well, it came, and this is our verb. Our adverb prepositional phrases, we have 2 of them. When we only have 2 prepositional phrases, we marked them on the previous slide. See, to Buck and in his sleep. And so you can start seeing how these are building. These are both adverb prepositional phrases. And they're going to tell us more. It tells who they came back to, and where they came. And so both of those tell us more about the verb. In these prepositional phrases, you have an object of the preposition, and that is always a noun or pronoun that is the last word in the prepositional phrase. So here's your object of the preposition. And yesterday, or the last slide, I told you this was the infinitive. Well, this is your infinitive phrase. And just like our object of the preposition in our prepositional phrase is the last word here, our last word, is object of the infinitive is him. Objects of the infinitive are always going to be the last word. Is it going to be a noun or a pronoun? And then I thought I had one more thing here, the infinitive phrase. And we already labeled that. It's right here, to trouble him, the infinitive phrase. So this is the parts of the sentence. Now this part right here is going to be particularly helpful, the subject and predicate part, because it's going to help in the diagram. So here's your subject part of your sentence, and everything else tells you more about the verb or the predicate part. So notice this line right here, and watch. As we go on to Friday, where we're going to diagram, and again, please don't forget to put your date. Take a minute and do that right now. And then we are going to look at the diagram. Here, this line is this line. So everything on this side of this line is going to go on this side of the diagram. So the subject is simply seen. And then what kind of scene? It is the scene. And this is your verb. This is came. The scene came. Well, then you just start filling things in according to what you know. Often tells more about came, so does back. We talked about them being adverbs. They tell you more about the verb, and this is your verb spot. When you see these, that is kind of like code for prepositional phrases. Well, we already marked those. We've marked them for 3 complete slides. And so you can see here is a prepositional phrase with only 2 words in it. And here is one with 3, so it's kind of like filling in the blanks. We have our object of the preposition goes here, and then it modifies. Whose sleep? His sleep. And then here's our infinitive phrase, and it simply is to trouble him. And there you have the diagram, and you can look at this. It kind of makes sense. Seen, came. And then everything else fills in. If you were to look at a diagram, you could recreate the sentence according to the diagram you see. Hope this was helpful. Get this turned in. Check for your name and your date. Make sure things are spelled correctly. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.